Hello everyone, it's me, JuanGamer54 with my video today. We are back. Yes, we are back. I'm sorry if I've been gone for like 2 days now, but unfortunately, your boy got sick. Yeah, seasonal flu. Who would have got it? I'm still sick if you don't recognize, but at least I don't sound like I took a little bit of all that infinite pack. Is what I'm trying to say. At least I don't sound like I took too many of Infinite's pack last time. Because that death battle, woo-wee, Infinite. Oh, buddy. But anyways, we're back with Dress and Impress number 2. Yes, this is part 2 of that theory. If you want to watch part 1, I'll leave a link to the description to see part 1. This is a follow-up after years of waiting. Well, not years, but you know what I mean. But anyways, let's go.
Dress to Impress is officially a horror game. That's right, the Roblox Runway Simulator has released a Halloween-inspired update, and with it are a bunch of new levels that turn the cutesy dressing rooms into haunted houses and hospitals filled with monsters. But wherever there's horror, you know that game theory isn't far behind, because that can only mean one thing.
Lore.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, the show that's so fashionable, it's spooky. Yes, I know I'm a little late for Halloween, but it's actually Halloween as I'm writing this episode, and that means that every game has released their Halloween updates, including the surprise Game Theory hit of 2024, Dress to Impress. And it really was a surprise because on the...
Yeah, so again, in case you guys haven't heard me because I was trying to beat the 1 minute mark, this is a part 2 Dress and Impress theory from Game Theory. We actually tackled number 1, so I was highly surprised that they released an episode 2, but I was very sick, so I wasn't able to do it. So that's why we're gonna do it now.
Surface, it appears to just be like any other runway simulator. Pick an outfit based on the theme, and watch all of your hard work go to waste as you're outvoted for host of Slay Theory, Matt Pat. But unexpectedly, hidden behind the catwalk curtain was a mountain of dark,
dang it, Matt Pat.
lore. Yep, I was as surprised as you are. As we discovered last time, the lore focused around the NPC nail lady, Lana, and her struggle to pay her medical bills after a terminal illness, leading to her joining a cult run by the ever-mysterious villain, Agamemnon. Or as I like to affectionately call him, Aggie, because there ain't no way I'm saying Agamemnon hundreds of times in one episode. By using Lana's diary entries, Roblox account bios, and a smattering of Greek mythology, we realized that Aggie was using similar tactics to Agamemnon from the Trojan War mythology. This Agamemnon had to sacrifice his daughter to lift the curse that was put on him by the goddess Artemis, and stop a plague from destroying his crew. Similarly, Aggie had plans to sacrifice Lana, and was writing about a plague all over the walls. He too was making a crew, but instead of soldiers, he was making his army out of doppelganger Lanas, and planned on using this secret room made of meat in Dress to Impress as a Trojan horse, what he called the vessel, even though he initially called Lana the vessel as well as an apple, but then he changed his mind at the last minute. Don't worry about it.
There were a lot of updates and a lot of different storytelling.
And take over, much like the Greeks did during the Trojan War. Somehow, this would then give him the ability to escape the otherworldly dimension he was trapped within. But as you can probably guess from that last part, the explanations for the hows and whys of it all were unclear at best. It didn't help that every other time we heard from Lana, it was later revealed it was actually one of the doppelgangers, and that we couldn't trust her. But we could totally trust the one we were speaking to right now. Thankfully, this is where the Halloween update comes in. And it's more than just a couple of new outfits to help you claw back the victory. It is here to clear up everything. Who is the real Lana? What is Aggie's plan? And what does the future hold for Dress to Impress? Which means it's time for us theorists to strut our stuff and reveal to everyone the dark lore of this Halloween update.
Great.
Although, before I can get into all of the new stuff, I actually need to talk about the stuff that was happening before this update came out. Like I said in our last theory, this ARG has been updating constantly. Before, after, even during our last theory. So what's been going on while I've been busy talking about FNAF, Poppy, and that Shadow is 100% a genie? Well, more than
that Shadow one was crazy.
Lana, or as we learned.
But anyways, yes, again, I will emphasize that I'll leave a link to part 1, so that way you guys can catch up alongside with me. before you carry on watching this one. So again, if you haven't watched part 1, link is in the description box below.
Last time, the Lana doppelganger that sat at the nail salon desk in Dress to Impress is gone. The salon is surrounded by moving boxes, and there's an ad left on the desk hiring a new nail technician. Lana has just been taken out of the picture, and while people were looking for the answers as to why, our good friend Aggie Digimon cleared the air in a live stream event where he said that he quote-unquote eliminated the doppelganger sitting at Lana's desk. He then moved on to give us the real news, which is that Lana isn't feeling well right now, and so someone needs to replace her. And that person is a new character called Lena Does Nails. Can you imagine what the writers' meeting must have been like when they came up with that? Okay, guys, we need a character to replace Lana in this new part of the lore. She's gonna be just like Lana in every way, but slightly different. We have a design, we just need a name. Anyone got any ideas? I got it. It's perfect. I'm giving it 5 stars. Maybe I can also get a raise? Sorry, no time. Need to figure out what fashion is considered gyat. Anyway, Lena's Roblox...
Don't ever say that. I need to find a fashion that's, you know, appropriate for gyat. Ah, heck no. I should start recording right now. But I'm not going to, though. But, really, Linda, whatever.
Account bio tells us exactly what she's all about.
I've always wanted to work for them, yet she was in my way.
Lena wants to be on the side of Aggie's cult, but also would have the motivation to remove Lana from the picture. And it looks like she succeeded, now running the salon in her stead, though her methods are a little more drastic than just taking her old job. Next to the nail salon is a secret room. Walk through it and you find Lana trapped inside a cage. She wasn't sick, she was being removed. Next to her cage is an entry from her diary, and it tells us all previous entries are deceptions. If I had a Robux for every time they told us not to trust the previous diary entries, I'd probably have enough to buy one of the new outfits. Repetitive tropes aside, Lana does tell us exactly who is responsible for the constant inconsistent messaging, leaving a Roblox ID that takes you to the page of Lena Does Nails. All of these entries from the very beginning have been Lena deceiving us, trying to get rid of Lana. Which leads us to the Halloween update. Going in, I was expecting more of the same. Ciphers, Roblox IDs, and
no more
Roblox
exhibitions
that would leave clues behind for us to piece together. But boy, was I wrong. This update is way less of an ARG and more of a, well, game. In the intermission area of Dress to Impress, there is a portal you can enter taking you through 3 chapters featuring collectathons, some platforming, a boss battle, and full voice acting. So, sorry Amy, looks like you're not going to need to voice Lana this time around. And that's what happens when you do a Dress to Impress episode over...
Come on! Alright, we're back. But, excuse me? So you mean to tell me a game about dressing up, you know, dressing up, dress to impress, now there's a portal where there's 3 chapters and one that there's a legit boss fight and voice acting. Okay. Roblox apparently has evolved from the old days. Roblox has evolved, man, because I still can't get over the whole, you know, Doors game where, you know, where it got a massive new chapter and it was crazy. The visuals were also insane. And mind you, this was all being made in Roblox. Roblox! Dang, man.
When you do a Dress to Impress episode over on Style Theory, and don't invite me. The first chapter takes you through a dark forest where you find a house, Lana's house. According to her, this is set in the past, before she began working for Dress to Impress. We are tasked with helping her find a few items from around her house because she is no longer well. This is when she got sick, and because she then couldn't afford her medical bills, she had to work for Dress to Impress, which resulted in her getting involved with dear old Aggie, who then took advantage of her. Although, Lana does add one extra detail that makes this whole situation a little more messed up.
I wonder if I'll ever be free again. He poisoned me. and I'm no longer well.
Lana's illness wasn't something terminal like cancer that she just happened to
It
get.
was
that then
afflicted
sapped
by her.
finances due to elongated treatment. This illness was given to her by someone, likely in order to force her into hospital and cause her finances to be drained in order that she could be manipulated. And there's only one male character that we've met that
Aggie.
matches that description. So, who's been messing up everything? It was Aggie Boy all along. He poisoned Lana and set everything
It was
else we've learned
Agatha
about
all
into
along.
motion. We learn more about this in chapter 2. Now we're collecting items in the hospital where Lana was treated. And in one of the rooms is our best law buddy in the series, Lana's diary. In the first
Yay.
entry, Lana says how she can still feel them crawling inside her stomach, and she can never eat or even look at another apple again. And with that, we finally have an answer for why Lana keeps being called an apple. Lana has been consistently referred to as an apple throughout the previous chapters. There was the portrait of her in the gallery with that label, and in the Plague Roblox group, the one run by my dear sweet Aggie, she is given the member tag of Apple. When I brought up this Apple nickname previously, I briefly mentioned that it might be connected to the forbidden apple of Adam and Eve in the Bible. Sadly, I dismissed it because it didn't seem to align with the Greek mythology we've been talking about up to that point. But clearly, I should have trusted my gut, as that story maps onto this Halloween update pretty darn well.
Really?
Adam and Eve are instructed by God to eat any fruit from any tree in the Garden of Eden, except from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The devil then tempts Eve to eat it and says, "For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened and you will be like God." But when they did eat it, God then cursed them. And that curse included the interesting stipulation of painful childbearing. This is the same story that's unfolding in Dressed
So
to
is
Impress.
Lana
was given an apple by Aggie. Maybe he was promising her something like the ability to be like God, like we saw with Eve. But just like the devil tricked Eve and then she would
So is Lana pregnant then?
cursed to die, Lana ate the apple, and it was then that she was poisoned. The apple was carrying something that is now living and growing inside her, causing her pain. She is the vessel for the apple, or whatever parasite was inside of it. Lana does eventually get cured of whatever this thing is, but it left her financially bankrupt and susceptible to Aggie Poo's control, leading to everything we spoke about.
Aggie Poo is crazy. You don't know him like that.
Why Aggie needed to set all of this in motion is still a bit of a mystery. By manipulating Lana like this, he was able to get her to sacrifice people to help create his perfect form. And it seemed like he was maybe trying to escape from his fortress prison. But why he was there in the first place, why he needed a perfect form, why Lana was considered perfect, still lacked any kind of explanation. That was until the final chapter of this new update. We
Chapter 3.
school platforming and come face to face with Lena, who still has Lana in a cage. Lena then calls on Aggie's powers to become a demon, and you start the boss fight. But during her transformation, a part of a song plays in the background. And let me tell you, this thing slaps. It has been in my head ever since I started writing this theory, which turned out to be a good thing, because this song isn't just leaving small breadcrumbs for us to follow, it's giving us the whole dang loaf on a silver platter. The chorus reveals Aggie's goal from the start has been to obtain one thing.
I'm bopping.
And in verse 2, we find out that to get it, he snuck into a palace and consumed something that gave him immortality. But once he was caught, he was then banished to the fortress where we found him. Figuring out who banished him isn't all that tricky. Once you beat Lena, Lana is finally free. But as she sleeps, Aggie lurks in the corner of her room and says,
No, it's not over until I say it's over. Not even the almighty gods of Olympus can stop what is to come.
Back in chapter 1, one of the items you have to collect for Lana is a Greek tales book.
You beefing with Zeus?
She tells us that she's been reading it specifically to learn more about Aggie Lulu. Greek mythology books, gods of Olympus. This game isn't just following the same patterns as the stories from Greek mythology. They are the same stories. Aggie is the Agamemnon from Greek mythology. And people said I was crazy for bringing up Greek mythology last time. Well, who's laughing now? Aggie is locked away by the gods of Olympus. Specifically, he seems to have it out
Oh, come on.
the way away by the gods of Olympus. Specifically, he seems to have it out for one particular goddess. The song opens with the line, "Let me tell you a story of betrayal between two people unalike. There was a goddess who was immortal against the jealousy of a warrior." We know that Agamemnon was a warrior king that was going into battle against the Trojans, so which Greek goddess is this referring to? In our last theory, we talked about how Agamemnon needed to sacrifice his own daughter to the goddess Artemis so that he could sail across the sea towards Troy.
So it's Artemis.
This could make sense as the goddess in the song. Maybe he was jealous of her ability to control people's lives, but it didn't feel like a super strong connection, so I kept digging, and once I beat the final chapter, I unlocked this: a Grecian-style tunic, a bird, and a shield. But this isn't just any regular shield, loyal theorists. This shield is called an aegis, a shield bearing the face of a gorgon like Medusa, the monster with snakes for hair that can turn people into
Medusa?
stone. The aegis has only really been used by two gods in Greek mythology: Zeus, the king of the gods, and the goddess Athena, who coincidentally is also associated with a bird, specifically an owl.
So
And actually,
Athena
if
is
you
the
go back
one
through
who's
chapter
being
1 and look
between
around
us.
the house, there are several paintings on the wall that also depict Athena. One is this cropped version of the famous Greek painting called Athena and the Centaur, and the other painting depicts Athena and Odysseus. With all those references, it really seems like Athena is the goddess being talked about in Aggie Waggy Doodar's story. He has beef specifically with her, and to find out why, we once again have to take a look into the mythology. Last time I mentioned the badge from the Fortress game, the Judgment of Paris. This refers to the story in Greek mythology about the Apple of Discord, where an apple addressed to the fairest one was put between Aphrodite, Athena, and Hera. Paris of Troy was then tasked with choosing which one of the three goddesses was most deserving of that title. And in the end, he chose Aphrodite, who had bribed him by offering him Helen of Sparta to be his bride, a woman who was already married to Agamemnon's brother, thus starting the whole Trojan War. After not being chosen, Athena naturally felt betrayed by Troy, and so sided with the Greeks in battle. On one occasion, Athena actually convinced the famous Achilles not to kill Agamemnon because of this alliance. But of course, other Greeks decided to be stupid and desecrated her temple, and so Athena turned on the Greeks, convincing a Trojan nobleman to shoot an arrow at the Greeks, breaking the truce that was at play, leading to the death of more Greek soldiers. And with that connection, the more vague parts of the story begin to fall into place. The second verse says that Aggie consumed something from the palace of the gods that gave him immortality. Well, in Greek mythology, there is something you can consume to do exactly that. The same thing that was used to cause this war in the first place, the Apple of Discord. This apple was one of the golden apples from the Hesperides, and they were said to grant immortality to those who ate them. Ding, 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 we have a match. No wonder Aggie is so obsessed with apples. He was so angry at being betrayed by Athena that he went and stole one of these apples from the gods in order to become immortal. Naturally, the gods weren't too thrilled about this. In chapter 3, we're told tonight is the full blood moon, and that soon, Lana's soul will be completely gone. A full blood moon, or what is scientifically called a total lunar eclipse in Greek mythology, was a sign of misfortune, a sign that the gods were angry and that they wanted the death of a king as payment for whatever made them angry to begin with. Agamemnon was the king of Mycenae, one of the cities in Greece.
So that's why Aggie got defeated.
The kings would have a peasant stand in as the king, hoping that the gods would accept their life instead. This is why Aggie Miladi went after Lana and orchestrated everything from the start. Throughout this story, Aggie has spoken about how Lana was perfect for his plans, but that he eventually would get rid of her. She was the perfect sacrifice. The blood moon was upon them. The gods were angry, and as the song says,
You would be banished, stay immortal, if only
of the king who'd actually done
my bad, dressed to impress.
Apple, Lana can be sacrificed, and Aggie would avoid his fate. He then made a bunch of other copies just in case one was.
Okay, my bad, dressed to impress. I didn't know that your song was like that, and also shout out to the person who sung that. Because, alright, my fault. I wasn't familiar with the game. I wasn't familiar with the game at all.
Enough, all to maintain his precious immortality. But something was still bothering me. Why was he so concerned with keeping his immortality? Come to think of it, why was eating an apple that gave him immortality the solution to the whole I was betrayed motivation? It felt like there was just one more piece to this puzzle. As I was listening to this song again, like a lightning bolt from Zeus, it hit me. We have this new line from the song, and it goes like this. His life was doomed right from the start. He wanted more, than what he got. His
Greed.
life was doomed right from the start. As in, his entire life was cursed before he did anything. Before he'd stolen the apple. And surprise, surprise, there's one more Greek story that fits this bill. Loyal theorists, let me tell you about the curse of the house of Atreus. This curse was a pretty big deal, as it wasn't just a single curse, but many curses that built up over the course of generations.
Dang!
First, Aggie's great-grandfather tried to feed his son to the gods to test them, and so Zeus punished him by sending him to the underworld, the world of the dead, where he would stand in a pool of water that would have
Oh, come on!
We're called of the dead, where he would stand in a pool of water that would evaporate any time he bent down to drink from it.
Dang.
Aggie's grandfather is cursed by a man who he throws off a cliff. Now, you might think that's justifiable to curse a man who's literally trying to kill you, but what you don't know is that this man was trying to do the old devil's tango with Aggie's grandfather's wife. Now,
Dang.
I'm not saying murder is ever okay, but as a married man, I can kind of see where he's coming from. Finally, Aggie's father, Atreus, ends up being killed by his brother's son that he had with his daughter wife. Yeah,
What?
Greek mythology gets weird sometimes. Even the real Agamemnon was cursed for not giving someone the armor of Achilles, and then he was later killed by his own wife after winning the Trojan War. And it all started with Zeus cursing his family. And since then,
Dang.
betrayal was just an inevitability for him. I suppose you could say his life was doomed right from the start. The gods have caused him nothing but pain and suffering. Right from the start of his life, he was cursed by Zeus. Then Aphrodite offering his brother's wife to Paris started the Trojan War, where he was then forced to sacrifice his daughter to Artemis. Every time the gods appeared, they betrayed him, and it inevitably ended in death. And so, when Athena turned against him in the Trojan War, that was the last straw. Aggie 2 Electric Boogaloo has been put through the ringer by these deities, and he is sick of it. He stole one of the golden apples of Hesperides and became a god himself. Now, he will be able to take his revenge on the ones that ruined his life. He is a tragic villain. He was pushed to this point by beings who abused their power, and really, we should be rooting for him. I don't know if you've read up as much on your Greek mythology as I have at this point, but the gods, yeah, they kind of suck. They're sleeping with people's wives, killing their own kids, sending people into murderous rages. They didn't care who or what they destroyed, so long as it amused them or satisfied their ego.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to say nothing because, like, hey man, it's raining, so like, I'm not trying to recover in the dark, in the cold, alright? But I will say that, yeah, Zeus was kind of the worst of them all. Zeus literally pretended to be someone else who was away at war, come to the house where the soldier's wife is. Honey, I'm home. Pop himself a little baby. The day before the husband returned from the war. Like, and that's just the one instance. I'm pretty sure someone else knows more about that. But dang. Yeah, I know.
So while Lana may be an innocent person in all of this, and so it feels unfair for her to die for the sake of this revenge plot by Aggie, without that immortality, he has no chance against these selfish and destructive gods. In the immortal words of Spock,
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one.
you know, unless they release another update where we're told once again that everything wasn't real, but it really feels like they're sticking to their guns this time. Oh, come on!
Dang.
But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory.
It's a never-ending... There's never-ending. Wait, what happened? Why did he say no?
This time. Oh!
I no longer want you to consume the propaganda he made me show you through his experience. I'm sorry.
Come on! But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory.
Poor Tom. Dress to Impress is most likely going to be the new FNAF, ain't it? Because it's going to give us one storyline, it's going to give us another storyline, and best believe we're going to get another update where there's a new storyline. Oh boy. Well, I guess that's the end. That's the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like the video so I know you guys enjoy. Comment down below what you guys think. I'm honestly surprised that Dress to Impress has gotten this big, to be honest. shoot, I might play the game. I don't know why, but from the way it's looking like, I might have to. I might have to swallow the pride and just go in, I suppose. And maybe find some things myself. And, yeah, be sure you subscribe and turn on notification. We're trying to upload daily and, upload daily and trying to get some videos out. Again, I apologize for, not uploading so much, but, I'm not uploading as much as I should have Monday and Tuesday, but hey man, I was sick. Your boy is sick, and I'm just taking this day to recover. Well, that was the plan, but then I wanted to do one video to test out if I'm good. Voice is good. Still having a little bit of a fever though. So, I'm just gonna go lay down. So, this is Juan Gamer 54 signing off.